what you want.
Join us every weekend, oh, the vibe's so fine. Saturday, sit down with Mr. Drayton. Shine!
Grab a friend.
Moo-hoo-ah! That's my simple killer. Just when you thought you missed something, you did not. You are part of my experiment. Now, so my thing is, time went up, so I decided I'm going to give you guys a break. I'm going to try to start later, see more of you guys join us quicker. Because my family on the West Coast always complain, Greg, it's so early. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Can you give a nigga a break? All right, well, holla at your boy. Here it is. So next week I'm gonna start at 1 o'clock, see what it looks like. So I'm doing 30-minute intervals, so you have not missed a thing. I am right here. I was so excited and reverent to go. Good Saturday morning, it's your man, Gregory the Townsend, Mr. Drayton. Thank you for joining me for the Saturday Sit Down. So get your seat, get your coffee, get your Fruit Loops, get your frosted
mimosas.
Mimosas. Too many mimosas. Get your frosted flakes with bananas, which is my favorite. So there's nothing like that taste. Until that one time they tried to make it in the box together. It was really gross. It was like, So you can send me a message with what your favorite cereal is, and we'll have it. We'll give you a shout out in your Saturday sit down, and we'll celebrate your favorite cereal. Don't come in here with no Count Chocolate, because you're not getting it. So as I do each and every Saturday, I drag along the homies to sit down with me, because it's no fun to sit down alone. I do that enough. You can talk to the wall. But, I have shits and ideas and shits and giggles for you guys to tune in and talk to me about. We have an exciting show today. Well, I try to make it exciting every Saturday, but sometimes I don't get inspired till Friday night at midnight. It's like an artist, and then I call up my trusty co-host and assistant, and he says, I'm on it, Rose. Right. Where's that scrap of paper I threw away last week? The purple one.
And that's usually the way it turns out.
And he's with the manners, so he just said, sure. Okay. Deep down inside, it's like, this motherfucker. He starts on Tuesday after his show. He starts around Tuesday. And then I know about Thursday, I ain't said nothing. He's like, he come with this bullshit, right? So, I'm going to be a little respectful of the homies' time. But anyway, I'd like to introduce to you all my man, 20 grand, Malcolm Travers is in the building. Wednesday nights on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give me a second, I'll drop my shit. Wednesday nights on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you will catch him philosophizing and doing all kinds of shit. He has triggered me the last couple of weeks, but that's his job. That's what he does. So I respect that, and it's been some very interesting topics, very philosophizing, and so. But he also talks about some good shit on his podcast. M3 presents the Bearcast. Now new and improved and chock full of vitamin D. It's vitamin D. Get you some.
Educate. That's what it is. It's the educate.
It's chock full of vitamin D. Malcolm, how are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to adjust to the weather. It's fucking hot, but it's good.
Air conditioner is working this year, right? Because I know sometimes at the beginning of the season you all have issues.
Yeah. No, I got to call the maintenance person.
Prayers go up.
I know. It's like it needs to be replaced like 5 years ago.
Damn.
Being held together by duct tape and prayers.
I'm gonna give you some professional advice. You get off the air. And I'm gonna tell you how to get that done. Because It ain't no fun unless your homie can't get some air conditioning. Speaking of air conditioning, listen. Somebody on this panel is in one of the hottest states in the union. It's my man Tony Graham, my co-host for the afternoon. I like to call him Vanna Black, but you call him Swag. Mr. Manners himself, the cat daddy, the bag daddy, the daddy of the show machine. Most important, T'Challa's daddy, Cha-ching. Swag for Life, Tuesday nights on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There he is, the Queen's baby boy, Mr. Chuckles, Mr. Happy, my own personal comfort human. Swag. You can catch him. Emotional. Right. You can catch him on Tuesdays here on this very network, as we showed the Blacker before, but you can also catch him in those TikTok streets, and you can catch him helping me balance my life and bring this show to you each and every week as he does. And I want to give you a great giant hug and a big public thank you so much for all that you do. And you have to share your skin regimen because you look like. If I told a mutual friend of ours how old you were, and they was like, he gonna have to send me his ID. I'm like, don't be rude.
I do get that a lot. I do get it. Like, nobody ever believes me when I tell them I'm 56. They're just like, you lying. It's like, why would I lie about
you have a birthday coming up.
I age myself older than yes, I have a birthday coming up actually a month from today. Yes. So yeah, why would I lie about being older than I actually am?
Yeah.
I get that a lot. But before we get started, T'Challa might need your services, sir.
Oh, damn it. I just got him on parole. What the hell?
So, I caught him actually putting his paw on the couch to like start, and I was just like, let me call your cat Turney because you get ready to go to jail.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, so America, I'm his cat's attorney, and I fight for him so often. He makes it hard though. Like the last,
really does.
Right? The last incident of couch debauchery. We kind of got over it, got past. I got him paroled.
He broke parole.
So now he gotta go to jail. Like, man, I'll meet you in the conference room after the show. Damn it.
Oh, that's funny.
Right, this is crazy. Damn it, T'Challa, stop it. Now he's running around looking cute and sad at the same time because he knows he's wrong. Well, today's show is chock full of goodness. It's a brand new, fresh out the pack with vitamin C and vitamin D for your skin pleasure, so you can glow after the show. We're going to talk about first thing we're going to talk about is first dates. I know men are very carnal, okay? So first dates could involve swallowing and sucking and fucking, perfectly permissible. Mm-hmm. But with the advent of gay marriage, there's a lot of dating involved. There's a lot of steak eating and hand holding and as Beyonce, a lot of conversating. Oh, I hate that word. A lot of conversating, a lot of talking, doing. In my inbox today, well, not today. I'm sorry, I'm a little behind on inbox. I know you sent it back 2 months ago. I'm sorry. But in my inbox, there was dear talented. I've been trying to date this man forever in 3 days. And he finally goes me out and takes me out. And I was so excited. And he pulls up to Golden Corral.
That's funny.
Now, I got a lesson because apparently I'm a food snob. So I was just informed that for some people, that is a good date. For some people, that is great. It's like you took the time to care about how much food I actually intake. I'm telling you, if you're taking the talented out, I don't care if we just friends, go past there. I'd rather have a Whataburger than I'd rather
Yeah.
have, anything but that. Don't take me because first of all, it smells like sour dish rags in it. And then you go on from there, and then there's like the people that let their kids play in the food. So I have more. It's not right. My thing is the sanitary issues. I don't have a problem. I've eaten at Golden Corral before in places like that. I'm not gonna pick on Golden Corral in places of that nature. You know. Now, if I do, Malcolm, if I do tend to like something like that, I would pick a Piccadilly's where the old lady with the lunch lady cap on, she fixed the food for you, and she just, you got your choices. It's 7 meats and 7 vegetables and some 3 kinds of rolls and 58 desserts, and you go up there. What you got on your tray, baby? You want some? I got some broccoli. $12.99.95. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Well, I would say the thing is, like, everybody has their, choices, because we were talking about beforehand about what was it, Cheesecake Factory girl.
Yeah.
Right. So not only is Cheesecake Factory acceptable to me, I actually like the Cheesecake Factory.
Now,
if someone were to take me there.
Yeah, we made the statement before.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, but I'm not going to disown you because you took me to the, you know what I mean?
Right. And so that's my question to you, Greg, is like, did he mention that? Did they have a conversation? He said he'd been trying to get this person out on a date for a while. Did they even talk about where they might want to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm going to go a little further into that. So that was what we started. Because I do, if I choose your correspondence, I do hit you back because I have questions.
Yeah.
But whatever situation we're talking about in my inbox, that's a snapshot in time. I need to know where you are now, what happened. So I said, hey, food buddy. Did you talk? Yep. He said, I suggested Outback. I suggested mid-range, not to, and he said, I even said, hey, we're going to go Dutch. It's the first time, I want no pressure.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I'll pay, no problem. And the dude was like, you don't even have to come pick me up. I got a car. You can whoop-de-woo. I will drive myself. I will meet you there. So it was real, it was like real, just don't pick this one. You know what I mean? You can go here, you can go there. I'll pay for my own. I even pay for yours. You know what I mean?
This is the thing I have to say. Like, I understand people have their own taste or whatever. Like, Golden Corral for me, say 10, 15 years ago, would have been the ultimate, like, choice.
Me too. Not the ultimate choice, but I would have been like, that was all right. We got to walk up to the bar together.
I mean, I was just a fatty that liked to eat as much as I could. And I like the food at Golden Corral. It just depends. And not every Golden Corral is the same. There are some that I've gone to that are really sad. Is the best way to put it.
What sad? Tell me what made it sad.
Well, just the things that you said, like it doesn't smell good. There are way too many people there. Their choices are not on point, and the food is not great. The Golden Corral that I'm used to going to when I was younger, I should say, there was a specific Golden Corral that I went to.
Okay.
It was always the best shit, and like we were talking about before, I think was it Tuesday? Anyway,
yeah.
The fried pork chops were the best.
Everybody don't have. I've never had that at Golden Corral. So
they were moist and crisp and just like, and you could have as many as you wanted.
My grandma was back there cooking them pork chops.
It was literally like a school bus full of grandmas back there. You know what I'm saying? They just brought them all in and just said,
no motherfucking blood pressure was like a teapot. It's just like, woo.
Right.
Then you had unlimited ice cream at the end. Like, oh my God, come on.
So then let's go down the desserts always a point. So for me, just heads up is always Outback is always the casual dining go to.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, the inverse of this is last year at Swaggerlicious' birthday. Everybody said, "Oh, we're going to try this restaurant in the middle of town." Right, we're going to motor into town.
Well, that's when I was in town, so I didn't have to motor far.
So we had to motor into town. We were already in town, right? So we put, I bought a piece of little glad rags that I did not steal from. I bought my own clothes. America, just know. I did not borrow, even though we do wear the same shot shit. Oh, listen, check your closet when I leave next time. Ever so slightly on the inside of the tongue, you will find a little tag. Tag some things I want.
That's funny.
It's hilarious. So we go into this restaurant. Beautiful. It's wonderful. They get you. So we're having a birthday celebration. So everybody, we laughing and we choking and water coming out our nose. And they sneak up. Everything looks good. You know what I'm saying? And it's but you don't stop to think it all adds up. So, we get the seafood top. We get down. We even eat other people's food. It's delicious. It's delicious. So there's a bunch. So we like sit there. Like, this is the exact inverse. You know what I mean? We all family. And don't nobody care. You know what I mean? Until we care. The bill comes back, America, as a mortgage payment. Am I lying? Am I lying? That fucking bill was the same as my mortgage payment. And so we sitting up there. Now, Mr. Manners is always cool. We had a good time. It was good food. We just won't do it again. And you know what? You can learn something from people all the time.
Yeah.
I would have just hit them. I'm over there wondering, like, damn, bitch, you got to wash dishes.
Maybe this is a time to use.
I think once a year it is perfectly acceptable to kind of like, you know what? Let me splurge. I don't get to do this very often. I'm not going to do this very often.
Mercy.
Every now and then it might be cool, but the funny thing is, it's funny you mentioned that because actually in the group chat today we're talking about.
That's why I thought about
anniversary of that.
I thought about
it because me and my Taurus brother Joe, our birthdays are in May, so it's kind of like our friend Portia is like, hey, y'all's birthdays are coming up.
Right, sidebar, but then nobody includes me. My birthday's in May too, but nobody includes me. I'm just saying. That's just convenient. At the birthday dinner, I had to sit back in the corner.
Sorry.
Right. I had to sit back in the corner. I was like, hey, birthday too. And I'm sorry.
Anyway. So, but see, you're not a Taurus. That's what it is.
That's why I was waiting for him to say that. That's why I get kicked out.
No, but so last time we got together, she actually said like, hey, y'all's birthday's coming up. Do y'all want to do what we did last year? Me and Joe both said, hell to the no. We're not doing that again this year. we're like, you know what? We're gonna pull out a grill and we just gonna grill some burgers and some hot dogs this year because we ain't doing that again. But I had to clarify something that Greg said about eating off other people's plates. So our buddy James he orders a steak. Now he want his steak well done. He one of them brothers. He's like, I don't want to see no blood. That thing better be burnt on the inside. They brought it out. It wasn't done quite right. Greg and Joe like, no, that steak is perfect. Took a slice. It's perfect. This is perfect. This is the best steak I ever had. This is great. So then Jay's sending the steak back, and everybody at the table thinking like, oh, they're gonna cook him a brand new steak. Nope. They brought the same steak back. Joe and Greg are like,
that's hilarious.
Greg's like,
then I lean over to Joe. I said, Joe, should we cook for some of his steak? Joe was like,
That's fine.
he's skinny, he can do it. You know. I could never love my Virginia brother more than at that point. Damn right, fucking we ate it, and what? That's what you're like, right? Right.
Don't mess with us Tauruses now.
Not included because I was born on the wrong side of a week. Not included. Bro, not included. Not included.
You had to fight with your other half.
Right, it's not included, bro. It's not included. It's out here in the.
But yes, Greg's birthday is also in May. So
right, listen. Watch at this cookout, they're gonna have all kind of happy birthday to us, Lord Jesus, have mercy. I'm gonna be sitting in the corner with T'Challa.
Keeping him off the furniture.
Right. You're gonna be putting his paw stroking my thigh. You all right? You all right? They've been celebrating their birthday for years. I'm not gonna come in and taint that. But so that's the inverse of it, right? When you go someplace that's way up here versus something. And so Malcolm, that was the question I asked the viewer. Did you have the conversation? And they said yes.
Okay.
He said, "Motherfucker, I would have even went to Five Guys because it was a first day. You know what I mean? That stuff like that. Yeah. You put that stuff on the table. I find Five Guys a bit insufferable because their burgers are a little bit too greasy. You got to catch the goddamn meat from the bun. You got to just get that motherfucker be running for you. Put that motherfucker in the slide out the other side. Not good. Now, if we was in Los Angeles, I would do an In-N-Out burger, a smash burger. Here, I would even do Whataburger. I mean, honestly, I would take my ass out to Boomfuck because the closest one to me is in Bumfuck, West Jesus. So I would even go 30 minutes to West Jesus to get this. So he said, I found it to be disrespectful.
Okay.
This is when we got into, the nuts and bolts of how he felt about that. Hey, Cowboy, what's going on, Papa Pisces, or everybody? And Demon, everybody that joined us in, thank you for joining. And this is when we got into the nuts and bolts of it, right? And he was just like, dude was a bigger dude, and he sat and he didn't really talk. He just ate. He talked about the food. He was asking him questions. He was like, when you didn't come in the Golden Corral, what do you like to do? And the dude was like, eat. I like to cook,
I mean, that is the place you go if you like.
I like to cook, you know what I mean? So finally, upon the third, his fourth or fifth trip around the sun.
So,
right. Dude was like, I'm gonna go now. You worship at the church of Buffet, and I'm gonna go now. I'm good. And you ask yourself, what do you do? That's all you can do at that particular juncture.
Right.
Just save yourself. Now, the question I asked you, what do you consider? Not even so. As much as I love the movies is not a good first date. It's not. Because you can't, for 2 hours, you have to sit there and be quiet.
Right.
You can't ask a question or anything. So I've learned through my years of dating that the movies is not a good date. I'm going to start with Swag. Swag, give me, what is your idea of a good first date?
I have to agree. The movies is not a good place for a first date, and I would admit Golden Corral is not a great place for a first date because
some people it is. You gotta say
the atmosphere is just it's off. It's like it's usually going to be crowded. There's usually going to be a lot of families there, a lot of kids. It's like the idea of a first date is for you two to get to know each other, to have conversation, that ask questions, and just kind of have some talk. So to me, some people frown upon like having a first date at like a Starbucks or something like that. I think that's a lovely first date. There's no pressure, there's no anticipation, there's no expectation of like, oh my God, we got to pull out, credit cards and put this meal on layaway or whatever. It's like let's just sit in a nice, a nice relaxed area and just have some conversation, and then kind of go from there. If the date is going terrible and it's like y'all are not really having good conversation, or you're getting bad juju from this person, then you can just be like, well, this was lovely. I don't think this is gonna work out.
So in a place like New York, in a bigger city, like a Starbucks would be the optimum place to have a date. You know what I mean? It's probably on the corner. You know, it's probably across the street. You know, Malcolm, what's your idea of a great first date or a good?
So the funny thing is, to me, I think having the conversation matters, you know, as to what they are into.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with a coffee date, first date, but typically for me, a coffee is a prelude to doing some other activity. So you sit down, you have a coffee, talk about some things that you enjoy doing, and then you go to a second location.
Or you have a second date, depending on time restraints.
Right. You could call it a second date. I just say extending the date.
Okay.
For me, I like to start with a coffee or snack, maybe even a meal, and then go to kind of a touristy location, sightseeing, or something like a museum. You go art museum, you could go like history museum, science museum. Also like touristy locations, like if there's a walk, like certain cities will have a walk through a historic.
Malcolm, I'm gonna tell you, the only problem with that is in Atlanta, the touristy shit cost, and there's I love the Coca-Cola Museum, and I don't go near as much as I want to.
Yeah, I've never been, but yeah, the places I'm thinking about are free for the most part, because I'm thinking about, say, DC, Chicago, New York. I actually haven't done one in Atlanta, but
Atlanta, you would go. This is gonna sound a little seedy, and I'm not talking about nothing dirty, fellow gays. Listen, talking about like the park is a nice one, but that's I think like after you get past that point of first date. So let me tell you how
I've done the park, yeah, actually Piedmont Park, and there's also the trail that goes through the park. It's not a bad walk to have.
No, so let me tell you. So let me tell y'all something. Everybody, it is perfectly permissible, especially for men, if you want to do the do on the first date. That is permissible. You know, do what you gotta do. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's but
if that's what you want to do, it's fine.
The
funny thing is, and this is something I always say, especially as someone who bottoms, is just fuck first. If you know you want to fuck on the first date, just go ahead and have the fuck and then have the date.
Right, because we said before, we have to date differently.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't make sense to fuck on a full stomach. It's just gross. It doesn't feel good. Might as well just fuck first. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the first thing. But I'm a romantic, so my idea is, someplace not so, off the beaten path. You can do something quirky,
Because I would say, like, Atlanta definitely has a lot of civil rights museums, but that would be the place that I would probably go.
But no, now they're full of guilty white people, so I
don't know. You can gawk at the guilty white people. If you're bringing someone who's actually intelligent and someone you want to talk to, then that's something you can talk about.
Right.
True. Yeah, I get it, but I try to stay away from the clear focus.
Greg, did you say what your perfect first date was?
I could not. Mine would involve food, definitely. Quiet place to have food. That's important. So I have a cornucopia of small, out of the way places that I like. Because I'm a foodie, so I've tried most everything. I'm like, so like here in Atlanta, my favorite place is Marcel. No S, just Marcel. Now, a steak is going to run you about $70. But when I tell you they probably hand feed this cow and stroke it and jack it off on Thursdays, or somebody giving the cow a rim job or something, like the cow is pampered. The cow willingly goes to its death because it's not the meat is not angry whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
The cow walks into the slaughtering house. It's like, I have lived a full and complete life.
Yes, the cow. You know, you know what I mean? Because you can tell how you know. I have this thing that you can tell how your food lived. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if it's tough, you know, like you can tell they wrestled the pig down to the floor or whatever it was. No, Demon Exists says the coffee date is a good starter. If you can find quiet places to sit and talk, especially if you haven't spent significant time talking in advance. Very much so. And I thought how this ended for Q&A was you guys may not have been compatible. You know what I mean? You
right.
Yes.
Here's one that I was thinking about. This sounds like a cheap date, but I actually enjoyed going to a mall courtyard, getting a coffee, and shopping with somebody.
That is permissible.
Like it was fun because he had to get a bag and a suit or something, and we got to see one of those things where you negotiate with people about how much something costs, how they interact with the people. You see things about them as they're shopping.
I'm old. A good day to me does not involve any type of exercise.
Yeah, I mean, and it allows for conversations. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole thing, is having this conversation.
Demon Exists says the hope would be that if you had good conversation before a date to try to gauge interest. That is so true. That is so true.
Yeah.
So the brother has moved on and he has had successful dates after that, and he listens to the show quite regularly, and we do stress communication. I think that was the thing. Now, I don't know what you've been watching on TV, but the plurality of this panel has been watching RuPaul's Drag Race. And ladies and gentlemen, the spring is upon us, so that means we've come to nearly the end of another season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Malcolm, fret not, my friend. I know you not have been watching, but we have a season recap for you. So last night we got down to the final 4 queens, and I was really interested because this is the first season we had so many queens of color. 3 of the 4 queens are minorities.
Okay.
Interesting. And one of the queens is a former drug addict. Now, I don't normally root for the trans woman because I think it's unfair. You're already a woman. You know what I mean? I do. I'm sorry, America.
It's not a who can be the best woman competition. So
I'm sorry, America. I'm Donald Trump in this shit, okay?
Yeah, because I've seen women do drag too. It's drag. Yeah.
You ain't gotta talk. You just pull up your pants. But in this case, the woman has a penis, so I guess it's the same thing. So RuPaul last night, with the help of Tracy Ellis Ross, one of my favorites. I love her. I love her. And she is just as genuine in person as she seems on TV. She is beautiful. I didn't care for her eye makeup, but who am I? Okay, so the thing is, we really enjoy it because the thing is, I was excited that so many performers of color were in the top 4, and they were fairly new to the art of drag.
Okay.
One of them had been doing it 3 years, the other one like 4 years, and one of them is a recovering drug addict who is an anchor who is trying, and it's just really interesting. And then the other one is the godson of Charles Barkley. It's just he halting the fuck around game, and I am here for it. So let's do like a little season recap. We're gonna introduce some of the queens that I've forgotten about because they were not interesting and they went home as they. This is my girl right here, Lexi Love. She's from Louisville, Kentucky. I did not realize that, so that says a lot about her. I wouldn't imagine it would be easy to be trans in Louisville, Kentucky. And she's a bad girl. So she's gotten off drugs. She's gotten a whole career. You can tell she has a lot more money and she's the oldest one there. You can tell she has a lot more money and things going on with her. So therefore, Lexi Love, ladies and gentlemen, the trans woman. Joella, Los Angeles' premier drag queen, Asian queen. Psych.
If that's the premier drag, if that's the premier that Los Angeles has to offer, I feel bad for Los Angeles.
This hoe went home dressed like a mattress. Imagine that. She was dressed like a mattress with RuPaul's picture on the back of the mattress.
Yeah. I mean, she will be remembered for being like really shady, because like the first few episodes they were doing like talent, and she said how like she's like, I was underwhelmed. I didn't feel like the talent was there. And
Right.
like, so,
but her talent was terrible. That's
right.
Joella. And
Right.
the sad thing, what celebrity? Oh, Katy Perry, right?
Katy Perry, right.
She worked for Katy Perry or was friends with Katy Perry, and Katy Perry was a judge. And the next episode, Joella went home. Thank you, Lord.
Huh.
They couldn't.
Interesting. Yeah.
Corey King, the trade buck horse of the season, the biggest drag queen other than RuPaul that you ever want to see in your life. I'm going to Corey to sit like a woman because he's sitting like he on a bench waiting to play basketball, with legs gapped open. Sweetie, you have balls with a dress on. Close your legs. Thank you. I don't. He's from Boston. I don't think he quite realizes that he's black, and he's having a relationship with another contestant. So we will let you know.
Right. And I'm gonna say I was extremely disappointed. I was like, I don't think he took the whole thing seriously. Like, it just never seemed like he really took the whole thing seriously. Like, everything was a joke to him. So I was just kind of like, why?
So the thing about this is these kids are competing for $200,000, and it ends up being more than that because they get paid for performances. So these kids, you get $200,000 in cash, and then they go on to make millions. I mean,
that's true. That's true. I have said you do not have to win Drag Race to win Drag Race. Like, just being there sometimes is enough to launch your career. But I'm just like extremely disappointed. Just extremely disappointed.
Hey, Dave's life was going to win. Lydia B. Collins, and the B is for butthole. Yes. Lydia Butthole Collins. It is. That's her official name, Lydia Butthole Collins. Lydia is the boyfriend to Corey King. This is the one he's had the affair with. I found his drag interesting as an art form. He took it seriously. He was a great performer. I wish he would have taken the place of one of the contestants that made it, but I wish they could have switched out Lydia for what's her name that won the challenge last night? Jewel Sparkles. Yeah, I find her somewhat insufferable, but she is Puerto Rico, so there you go. Go ahead. Hated it.
The villain of the season. The true villain of the season. Yeah. I hate to say it, but she's probably going to be most remembered for the message that she left when she left the show, and it was really bad. It was like horribly bad.
It was bad. We'll talk about it when we get to the she left a message about. And sadly, she's from my favorite cities on the planet, Seattle, Washington. Ariana, you are a bitch, you are a hoe, you're a slut, and you're not booking work, and because you're hated. So you're sitting at home right now wondering, and you're not going to win the lip sync palooza next week.
Oh God, no! She's a terrible lip syncer. She is a terrible lip syncer.
The massage tells you that you're an awful person, and then it came out last night that you stole the girls' jokes. So,
right,
you get the bird. Jewel Sparkles. This is one of our top 4, and I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. Lexi Love is our was a member of the top 4 as well. Congratulations to Lexi Love. Now, Jewel Sparkle is from Tampa, Florida. She is Afro-Latino, so I'm a little partial to her. But there's something about her I just don't like. So
Same.
there's something a little sticky, icky, and gooey about it. Like and she does identify as black, by the way.
Okay.
There's something about some Afro-Latino people that they just don't give off the aura black, but she does identify as black, and she's very, proud to be black, and so I get it. It's just how she rubs me. It's the electric company Sesame Street hair for me. I think it is. It's too much.
That is an accurate description.
Very much so.
It's very Rita Moreno, circa 1978.
Mm-hmm.
And it's go ahead next, and then Jules is number 3 of our top 4. Congratulations to Jules Sparkles, and she won last night's challenge. Now in the challenge they win the 5,000 doll hairs, and for each challenge they win. So that was Jules' second win. So she's up to $10,000. But we'll get to the person who's won the most challenges, that has the most money, that has the most chances. So this is Lana Geray. That's right. You heard me. Lana Geray.
It's a little lazy, but I'll take it.
Well, that is a good way to describe her art form.
Oh, wow.
That is perfect. Thank you, Malcolm, for
It's a lazy ass name.
It all starts.
It is.
And she is the drag daughter of a prior contestant whom I can't stand, who I will not take my airtime to mention because she's a slut. Anyway.
Right. But she's one of those girls that because a lot of these queens come on here and they think, they have the looks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but what else can you do? And it was like,
unfortunately, she started to blossom as she was sent home.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, she will grow into other things, I believe. Sam Starr, Leeds, Alabama. Now, the funny thing about Sam Starr, she is the godson / daughter of NBA superstar and ESPN commentator
Charles Barkley.
I'm sorry, Charles made one on my head. Charles Barkley. Sam Starr is very supported by his family, very confident in who he is.
Yes.
He is also a member of the Final Four.
Yes.
Sam Starr is very confident, but again, luckily he stuck around, so he had a time to develop his personality because he was really stuck in this one persona. Congratulations, Sam Starr. Now, this is who I think the winner is. Do I want this person to win? I do not. But I truly believe it's going to come down to 2 people. I hope I'm pleasantly surprised. But any of 4 of them can win, and I'll be okay. But I think Sam Starr is going to go ahead. Oh, my favorite. My love. I love this. And I was so shocked. So this is her interest look. I was concerned when I saw this interest look because
same
pants.
Same. I was like, oh, that's your interest look.
Yeah. Now they only got better from there. Consummate professional, consummate performer, can sing, dance, act, and how the kids said, house down boots or whatever it is. Can do it.
Charisma.
Cleveland, Ohio's On Your Nerve.
Yes.
That is it.
Yes. She has definitely won over a lot of people. And maybe that was a tactic of hers. Maybe this was her look to kind of give people the impression that, like, oh, she ain't gonna make it. I ain't got to worry about her. But she steamrolled over the competition.
4 wins equals $20,000. She's won 3 mini challenges. Mini challenges you get $2,500 for. So we're talking $25,000. and she has
the first and only contestant this season to win 4 times. Nobody else had that.
Okay.
So
now, so I think she will be in the top 2. I think it's going to be her and Sam, and it's either one of those to lose. So congratulations to the top 4. We have Lexi Love in the top 4. We have Jewel Sparkle in the top 4, Sam Starr, and Cleveland's own On Your Nerve. And sidebar, they did the family make. The only challenge she's ever was in the bottom was the family makeover challenge when she had to make over her fine ass prison trade daddy, which America's fashion guru herself, Law Roach, was like, I ain't gonna say nothing too bad because I want to fuck your daddy, and I think her, and I think he probably gonna give her some dick because he's been in. Sidebar, I think they should have went with the name Robin Banks. I think
yes, that was very clever.
Walker went to prison several times for Robin Banks. So I think
no.
Drag name.
Yes.
Right.
That was funny though. That was very funny.
That is hilarious.
So Ariadne, hold on one second, go back. So Ariadne, the queen that everyone hates, left the message. So unfortunately, at this time in her career and existence, Anya has a mouth thing going on that she has an odor. Her teeth are beautiful, of course. She brushes her teeth, but her and her orthodontist don't know where this odor is coming from, so she kind of shies away from people. And Ariadne on her mirror, the queens leave a message on the mirror when they exit, and so Ariadne's nasty bitch ass message. Oh, and Anya, brush your teeth. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why you at home, you troll. And so, and funny enough, the joke she stole from Jewel Sparkles bombed, because when you don't write something and you steal it, you don't know the inference behind it. So excuse me, God forgive me. On Your Nerves, the 4th contestant to make it to the final 4. So if you are RuPaul's Drag Race fan, the ones you need to vote for is On Your Nerves, Jewel Sparkle, Sam Starr, and Lexi Love. Now, we have discussed that Lexi Love is the contestant that was the former drug addict, now banker, now trans woman who is amazing. So, yes. Next. Hate her. Go next. No, go back to that. Susie Toot, the flattest talented drag queen that you will ever know. Flat, just very cerebral. She needs to get out of her head. She overthinks it. The picture that you see here, and well, let's go with her interest look. That's all we ever saw. And that wig is all. It was like she was born a redhead with flat hair, because that's the only wig that she has. That's it. The only shoes. That's the only. She's only giving you 1920s Betty Boop. It's not because she's really talented. Like, she's a theater kid. She has a degree in theater. She can sew. Somebody need to sit her to the side and be like, "Yo, chick, hey, this is." Right. And
part of the problem was that, she did kind of take off early, and like the girls were mad because they were just like, how are you like, why, how are you winning and you're coming with these busted ass looks and stuff like that? So I think she did get a little overconfident at the beginning and was like, they just mad because they can't be me. They can't be me. And
spoiler alert, and for those who hadn't watched the show yet and those who want to, spoiler alert, the bitch went home last night. And because she did not understand the assignment, she tried to make it her own, and it was not the time for that. Like,
yeah.
The rule was very particular because the challenge was about selling yourself to do RuPaul's Drag Race in Vegas. Sidebar, I'll be seeing it next week. I'm so not excited about going to Vegas. Anyway, So yes, so two star, and then we on the family makeover channels. We see where she gets it from because her mother is a fucking killjoy. And in her interview with, they all did interviews last night with my girl, Big Mama Morton herself, Latrice Royale, which is another prison trade, and they're both from Fort Lauderdale. And I noticed that Latrice had anything positive to say about Susie. And all she says is, "We know each other."
Right.
They knew each other from the same time, like this, that.
They're both from Fort Lauderdale, yeah.
They throw the girl around. Hey, what you doing? I see you at the bar. None of that was so. That was a telltale. Next. I'm about to talk now. Okay. I give you the star of Pixar's Inside Out.
I knew you were going to say that.
Sad. She has taken off her blue makeup to.
That's not a bad fit. You're right.
Yes.
I mean, that's exactly who she looks like. And she even copied the look. Like she painted herself blue and was like,
no.
nailed it. Yes, nailed it.
Mona Lisa, Chattanooga, Tennessee's own Mona Lisa,
hand selected by RuPaul Charles himself.
Herself
is the way she came in there, because RuPaul was doing a book tour, and her Mona Lisa showed up at one of his book signings and gave him an audition tape, and RuPaul said that like she was going to Hollywood, so she used that as her kind of like she was hand selected to be on the show. All the other queens was like, no, you basically just hunted him down and basically forced him to put you on the show. So
that's funny.
Depends on who you ask.
Right. Depends on who you ask and where you
go. Right.
Her Mona Lisa Chattanooga's own. She claimed she was a country singer, but she could not hold a note in a bag. I worry. She was sent home in the middle of the competition. I think she stayed too long, but that's just me. She needs to go and hone her craft. All these queens from the South, these white girls come out as these country queen pageant, Patsy Cline, Dolly Parton. Okay. So, bye, Mona Lisa. Thank you. Glad she's gone.
Agreed.
Crystal Envy. I don't even remember her. I hardly knew her. I don't know.
She was an early like contender, but I just think she just was too competitive. I think she took stuff way too seriously.
Oh, she was the one, wasn't she? She was the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Because when I tell you I didn't remember who the fuck.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, damn, I won't even smoking weed no more. Damn, I just forget who the bitch was. Oh, who is this?
That's funny because her name is Acacia Forgot.
That's hilarious.
That is a funny name. Like, yeah.
In case
you forgot her.
So this was the other thing.
Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of feel like Acacia was a trade of the season because if you didn't know, huh?
The mullet.
Well, the mullet, but then also, she did a they had a, I can't remember what the category was, but when she did her reveal, her backside was out and she does not shave below her waist. And I'm just like, okay, so she got hairy cakes. I was intrigued. I was like, okay, I'm not bad at it. So, but yes, the mullet too. The mullet kind of like, yeah. I mean, she's
these are handsome. The young men in them are very handsome to see because they're super young.
Yeah,
so it's very young cast.
Very much so, but yeah.
In case you forgot, and I did. So thanks for the right. So, who is this bitch?
Now this one is kind of forgettable because they didn't make it. They were the first one eliminated. This is the pork chop. missing Lucky
Oh,
Stars.
mhm.
Who unfortunately, because it's kind of hard to see, but like he's known for like being really colorful, like just wild makeup.
Oh, that
But
that was
in the first challenge where somebody could be eliminated, he knew that like they're probably gonna call me out saying like, okay, you can't keep doing this wild makeup stuff. You gotta like do glamour or whatever. So he tried to do glamour, and
oh, I do remember that.
yeah, he shouldn't have. It was a hot mess, unfortunately. Which is sad because I really wanted to see like what kind of looks he was gonna bring, but he didn't make it past. Huh?
Excuse me, Miami drag queens are lazy.
Oh.
Well, because most of them are Latino and they think they're pretty. They ain't got to do much. I can just throw this on. Nope, you need a whole thing. Next, thank you, Lucky. Congratulations for leaving.
That's our last queen. Unless you just want to kind of, like I said, I did grab some stuff from the last show.
Yeah,
just
let's go over last night's episode, which was really good. This was the winner's runway look. I found it okay. It was outerwear, so she did what needed to be done. I think the coat wanted for her. They also had to shoot promos for RuPaul's Drag Race live on the Vegas trip, and hers was really good. And so I think this season they got it pretty much correct. I think
agreed.
They did well. And this is another thing, you can't see the back, but it's outerwear was the theme, and this was a ginormous bubble coat with a heart on the back, and this was really elevated for her. I think she saved the best for last, and it worked out for her. And then the first girl we seen was Jill Sparkles, and this is
Lexi
Love. We have our African queen, aka what's Bray White's wife's name?
What is her name? Because RuPaul kept saying that all season long. What did he call her?
White.
Something White. What was her name? Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah.
Very White.
What was her name? Well, she came in this the outerwear, and this was beautiful. Glodine White.
Yes.
Glodine. And so so to me, Anya looks like Taraji P, but she also does look like Glodine White. So
actually, now that I'm looking at it, she does. Let me share this right quick because she does look. Let me share the screen because I didn't know what she looked like, but now that I see her, I'm like, okay, I know why he keeps calling her that because she does look like her. Let me see.
It would be like, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Barry White. Ladies and gentlemen, Glodine White. And she's still living. Glodine is like 78. So Glodine sent.
I gotta pull. Hold on. Let me pull this down and then. Okay.
Mrs. White sent Anya a message, and it was Glodine White.
There it is.
She does look, but that's not a good picture of why she would look like her.
Right.
But, Glodine is a singing fool. Let me just tell you, she is the consummate singer. She was the head of Barry White's Love Unlimited Orchestra. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry White, Glodine.
Yeah, I can see that now. Yeah,
she does.
Looks like,
And that was all natural hair that Glodine. And see them nails? Glodine rocked them nails and that natural hair. And Glodine is still with us. She is 78 years old, a millionaire in Los Angeles. And this is On the Nerves runway look, Mrs. Barry White. Reincarnated. I'm sorry. Now, what's funny about this, my brother has a blanket upstairs on his bed. That's just the same fabric.
Stop.
You better check for your blanket. I think that would stole it.
No.
So It was really wild that she chose this because it was just dialed in. She's 24 years old and she looks like a 45. She looks older than RuPaul. Thing. It's all covered up and there's no real shape to this coat cape thing. But anyhow, thank you, Sam Star. Now I'm so sick of this look, but the outerwear was the challenge, and she really kind of rocked it here. And it was beautiful on the back. It was an authentic. So she paid a pretty penny for it, but alas, it was not enough to save you, my dear.
Mm-hmm.
Later, Gator. Laters. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So next week's episode of RuPaul will be the lip sync Lollapalooza. With all the eliminated queens coming back to compete for $50,000 hairs.
Okay.
The winner. So congratulations for those who have the opportunity to come back and win some money. I think it's probably going to be I don't know. We'll see. Well, we have come to that time in the show that I absolutely love because in case I fell asleep while I was on air and missed something good, we are going to take a one sneak peek at the Weekly Rewind, brought to you by Swag and the Kitty at the Bottom production. Ladies and gentlemen, M3 presents the Weekly Rewind. Pew, pew, pew.
Let me just get it up here and
Get it up. Boom, boom. Let your thing hang down. Boom, boom. I love that song. Check it out. Prince, 1981. Get it up.
all right, here we go.
Yeah, when I saw that trailer, I was like, I think James would be interested in this because I remember you said how much you enjoy those types of like JRPG sort of.
Yeah. This is adult Pokemon. It's sort of like Detective Pikachu meets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you can go ahead and play it.
Okay.
Righto.
It's
Double
just like
speed.
Pokemon. Like you can say, yeah, turn it down. Turn it down.
Oh.
But here, in the Taisho era, we're the only detectives that specialize in that sort of thing. Yes, this is the Narumi Detective Agency.
Please, sir. Please, help.
Right, got a case. Let's roll.
Oh, we got a little bandit happening.
Right.
What?
The dark
Here you go, Cedro. You said you wanted to fight the monster.
between the real world
Why you have
and the netherworld.
Bravo, detective. Or should I say, Devil
Rasputin.
Summoner. Right,
Oh.
Kuzo no Ha.
You may call me Goto.
Yes.
Take it easy. That's my motto. I'd go, but it's easier for you anyway.
Hello there, Mr. Narumi. And listen to me for a minute, okay?
So, I ask, are you prepared to lead the life of a devil summoner?
I love the 90s anime music. And the fact that it's also got that classic storyline where it's clearly something supernatural. The main character always has like a sword for whatever reason and is badass with it.
Yes.
And then there's always a random black cat that can talk.
Yeah.
Like
Always.
always. It's like what?
Always.
Oh,
It's, like I say, it's for every brooding anime character, they always gonna have a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Algorithms. And the reason being is if you never use ChatGPT, it is really great for applying for jobs. Let's just put it this way. You know, if you're looking to like redo your resume, you can create a custom resume for each job that you're applying to. Like you just put in your resume, put in the the job thing that you're doing, and boom, boom, custom resumes. Not only that, there's a feature in ChatGPT to automate, so you can actually have ChatGPT apply to jobs for you on your behalf. It's a thing. And there's the news story from the Wall Street Journal just saying about that, and a instance of someone using AI to try to hack a job interview. I'm gonna play this real quick.
Artificial intelligence is making the job market a little surreal. If you're looking for a job right now or looking to hire a new employee, you've probably encountered a lot of AI. Companies are increasingly relying on AI recruiters and application scanning systems, and job hunters are using AI to boost applications, writing or reviewing their CVs, and mass applying to job ads. That is causing chaos. One employer even shared a video on LinkedIn of the time they had to cut a virtual interview short when it became clear the job candidate was actually a deep fake.
So if you have a look at this video, there's a recording taken from the call that I did with this guy. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm drawn to the collaborative culture you described with the flexibility to lead and mentor while working independently. And additionally, the commitment to TDD and high quality code, it resonates with me. Yeah, having seen firsthand how well tested code improve a product reliability. So yeah, I'm eager to contribute to a team that shares this mindset and pushes it for the excellence.
Okay, starting the call, I tried to build a bit of rapport with this chap. It was impossible. I'm never going to judge somebody based on your accent or your background or anything like that, but it just felt off. If you listen to the audio in this video, does this sound like a chap called Sean Lupton, who has grown up in Indiana, United States? Not to me. Red flag. So here's the actual headshot from the LinkedIn profile. It wasn't on the CV, the resume. In hindsight, it does look a bit AI generated. Could easily be touched up by AI.
So yeah, people are using AI to do their job interviews.
So as an HR professional, let me just give you a tip. When I like a resume, I automatically call.
So let me show y'all a picture. You tell me what this is, what you see. What is this?
It's a sketch of some type.
Yeah, a drawing of a pony.
Kids play.
Right. Okay. Now, is this a boy's toy or a girl's toy?
I just know there was a sex to it.
She's giving girl. She's giving girl.
Yeah, it's just because of the purple, I guess.
And unicorns,
Yeah.
So
Okay. Maybe it's a little more red in it if it's for a boy, something like that.
Now that is very colonistic. It could be either or, but because of the color, parents would probably buy it for a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me play this clip because apparently it is definitely a girl's toy, and his father did not like his son playing with it.
This is chat.
And they got girls' toys.
Man, that's a girl toy. She doing with a girl toy, damn it. I don't give a damn what you had. You don't play with no girls' toys, boy. Didn't I tell you that? Come here. What I told you. Don't play with what? Leave that shit alone. Before I turn you to a pack, boy.
Wow.
Radio.
Nah.
What is the pack? What's the?
It's the slang for killing somebody or beating them up.
Beating them up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. Photographer for a wedding and how she was messy.
I've seen it somewhere though. I don't know if I watched it or.
Yeah, because I did leave it for you when you were guest hosting, but I don't think you used it. So okay. So I'm gonna play this one. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so as of recently, I've been kind of obsessed with court shows, but I saw something on TV yesterday, and I want to get you guys' opinion on who was wrong in this situation. And this situation is messy as hell. So homeboy over here hired this woman, his childhood friend, to be his videographer for his upcoming wedding. Now, since they were childhood friends, this girl decides that she's going to give him a friends and family discount, which in total comes out to $11,000. Now, I don't really understand how that's a discount, but hey, it's not my wedding, right? So he gives her a deposit of $5,000, and now it's her job to not only video the wedding, but she needs to interview the guest. She has to interview the bride and groom and do all this shit, yada yada, before the wedding. She has staff. I guess it's a whole production for this event. So with him being the groom, he is the last person to get interviewed. And since he's being interviewed, he is like mic'd up. And this is like right before the wedding. He's supposed to do this interview. And then immediately after the interview, he was supposed to go and walk down the aisle to marry his bride. Now, at some point in the middle of this interview, he gets a phone call and he says, hey, let me step away for the moment. Turns out the phone call was his side chick. And old girl is mad, like she is mad as hell that he is getting married. And she tells him that, hey, I am on the way to come and object, and I'm going to ruin the fuck out your wedding. And he's trying to calm her down. He's like, no, babe, don't do this. Do this.
Oh.
Yeah, we did. I played that. We did. I played that.
Oh,
okay.
But, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so I take it that made it into the tape.
The tape, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did.
All she had to do was not play it for his wife. She the bitch.
Yeah.
And all she had to do was edit it out.
Yep.
Delete it or whatever, But
I don't even understand how it got to that point, because I'll be like, bitch, cut that, cut.
Maybe she wanted her. Maybe she wanted her to know, because like, how you gonna on your wedding day you got a side chick who's like, no, I'm gonna come up there and ruin everything, and you like, no, babe, you get ready to marry somebody, you calling this chick babe? No, she did right. She did the right thing.
I still don't get these dudes who have side chicks, like long-term side chick.
Right.
It just feels like so much work. It just feels
not when the thirsty bitch make it easy. You know what I mean? It's like these.
You're right. There are definitely these what we call pick-me's that will put up with anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, for myself, like I mix up so many things. Like keeping a lie going feels like a lot of work. It just does.
Well, I get but not even in the community that takes place. Like motherfucker don't care as long as they got some dick. They don't care about dating. They don't care about nothing. You can do whatever. You know what I mean? I have went out with people and be like, look, if we get involved, I don't care what you do. Just, I'm like, well, you have a self-esteem problem, and I'm gonna holler at you later. Peace. That is a red flag. You know what I mean? If you get a that don't care about nothing about what you do, I'm sorry. And I only looking over my shoulder.
The funny thing is, of course, I know about side chicks for people who are, bisexual. That's obviously, something I've seen people put up with, but because they actually want someone who's of a different gender,
But if you ask me, that's what I feel, and I'm gonna get so much blowback.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say this, Lord, but it's gonna come out like word vomit. But I feel like that's what the whole open, do what you want in a situation. It's a bunch of pick-me's that are happy to have a man. And it is. They're like, okay, well, I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna let this nigga fuck and do whatever. And I think, and so I just think you're just greedy. It's like, oh my God, like I don't want to have to pick. I want until they get old or sick. Now I know some people that are now old and or sick. Now I just want one good motherfucker. But 10 years ago, you wanted all the good motherfuckers. You know what I mean? You wanted to just do it, dip it, and swerve it, and you crazy. You just want to set it down because there comes we are as gay or people on the LGBTQIA spectrum and Black men. Especially, we are living longer. We are able to marry. We unfortunately the AIDS crisis and epidemic, we lost a generation that didn't get as old as we did.
Yeah.
And so it was party, hurry, have a good time. But now we're living into our 70s and our 80s and our 90s, hopefully.
Right.
And it's that thing that you do, unless you take really good care of yourself, lose health. You lose health, and you lose, you move a little slower, and you get a little, you get what society considers as less attractive. You get a little thicker around the middle and all those things. Now, there's a whole daddy market out there, but that's another thing. I'm just saying, in general, the dating pool is not meant for 50-year-olds. It's not. You're young, you're beautiful, you're out
More
here.
common amongst gay people, but yeah.
It is, but it's not meant for that. It's
Right, I get it. Yeah.
Because that's what Atlanta is for. Everybody, you come to Atlanta, you get booed up, and you sit down somewhere and cut the grass. I feel like each city has its own. New York, Chicago is for young, vibrant gays. The Midwest is when you get your degree. You move to New York, Chicago to get you some dick. Then you move down to Chicago. You move to DC to get your retirement. Then you move to Atlanta to retire. And
yeah, I just think there are a whole generation of people who, like you said, got tired of the lifestyle, quote unquote, and are ready to settle down in their 40s and 50s.
Yep.
But you're right, like it's just not really meant for that. I don't know, like if you were, it's not ideal. I guess it's the.
It's not. I mean, you can't. And like we're looking. Like I told somebody, I was 52 the other day. They were like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." And so I was like, I'm 56 years old. Yeah, we ain't gotta be out here looking raggedy with, you ain't gotta be out here looking crazy. Like to me right now, today I'm looking crazy because I need to let Kevin give me a makeover on Tuesday. But yeah, I'm gonna be fresh.
And that's the funny thing is, like I said, I think I was, the side chick for like 10 years to some dude.
You were, but that was okay because you chose that.
Well, it wasn't even really a choice. Honestly, it didn't even really feel like a choice. It was just something that sort of happened. It was that pattern, right? I was like 2 years into it. I realized like, oh, this is just a thing that happens. Like I don't know anything about you, and I don't really want to.
Yeah, I was just gonna say some people don't care. They're in it for just the sex, and they don't necessarily want anything.
Have you ever been a side chick or the side dude?
Never. And I know Demon is gonna give me hell for that. Talking, God, oh, here come the prude again. But no, I mean,
never. Me, Jackie? Never. Black girl neck.
Yeah, it's like I didn't have the means or desire to be in a relationship at the time.
Right.
So I was just like,
okay, and it's okay if that's the way you want to be.
Right.
I have been a side joint, but it was by choice. I knew what I was getting into. I didn't have time for a relationship, but I had time for relationship-esque things when I wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was able to travel. He had money. The side chick get all the good gifts. Because you get
that's a good point. Yeah,
the partner gets the guilty.
The partner gets the time. You get the money.
Guilty gifts, right? But you get the trips, and because you giving all the excitement. You fucking a bitch all upside the wall, and carousel, and doing all kinds of things. You. Every business trip he take, you meet that motherfucker there for the weekend. You getting steak tartare, and so it was great. It was fantastic. I got to continue dating and auditioning the niggas I wanted. I know his old block sock wearing ass wasn't gonna go nowhere. You know what I mean?
Like, I understand.
Black sock.
The type.
When they wear stockings everywhere.
No, like the type.
But that's the thing. I understand the mentality.
I'm gonna use that one day, y'all black sock boy.
I understand the mentality of the side chick. I don't understand the mentality of the guy who wants side chicks. I've never been in
because he wants something additional to fit into his life.
Right. I kind of get it, but I just never been.
But you don't want to go hunting every on the apps every week.
Right.
This
And for some
motherfucker.
people, it's the thrill of like having this, this piece of ass side and whatnot that nobody's supposed to know about, And again, if they're fine with it just being that way, then my whole thing though is just like, why would you speak with her on your wedding day? That's the part that blows my mind.
Right.
It's like you got to
He
get
probably
married.
was gonna fuck her after he went before his honeymoon. I
And see,
mean,
that part doesn't make sense to me.
niggas ain't shit.
Yeah.
Niggas ain't shit.
He
Niggas
didn't
ain't.
even-
And when I use the word niggas, I mean men. Let me just replace the word
Right.
nigga with men.
That
Men
was a
ain't-
white dude, but it was a white dude.
It ain't shit. It's just it ain't. It's like if we and people like, well, why did such and such happen? Because if we feel like we can get away with it, we will. Just
Right.
that's it. If you feel like you can get away, it's like the little boy syndrome. Now I know nobody on here is a father but me, but if Christian think he could get away with some shit, he did it, and there was no. So my wife would be like, "Why would you do that?" Nope, that's not the question to ask. The question to ask is, why do you think you could get away with that?
Yeah.
Right.
What was the scenario that you thought that neither one of your parents were going to find out? And he understood that even as a child in his little boy's mentality. And then his capers became more smart, more well thought of, because she was like, you're making him more sneaky. No, I'm making him think about his logic. Why would you do that? Not the question is, what made you think about that you could get away with that? He'd be like,
right.
Ooh. Huh. So I taught him, I said, you need to think about the probability.
Mm-hmm.
Probability of you getting caught. My father's nosy. My mother's even nosier. And so what is so if you have, and so two things. If you have a partner that you figure they fucking around and you giving at home what they need, and so it's not really it's the known unknown. It's the thing about it, and they don't necessarily they want all relationships closed. So telling my business. So when I was the side dude, he was like, could you not see nobody else? No, I don't want that in my contract. Because I mean, I'm still out here. I am looking for you. If I find somebody to love me, like, and I find a relationship I want, this is done, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You all like Red Rover, my nigga. It's done.
Right.
No, because I care. And see, now that's the whole thing about it. When your sugar daddy start developing feelings, now that feelings gonna cost you a little extra. That's gonna be a car. That's gonna be a down payment on a house. I mean, it's a whole tier. It's a whole tier hierarchy. So it's it's the menu, right? It's the menu at a car dealership. If you want the sunroof and the spoiler kit, nigga, no, that's different. That's a different.
I think the hilarious part is for that court show is that the lady who busts that marriage wide open still wants to get paid, because apparently that was the last interview. I just realized that from the clip. So she actually did fulfill. She did fulfill the contract. She just a little extra.
I googled it. He lost.
Broke up that marriage, like
check out Swag Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. where we can. I mean, that was Malcolm. I'm so sorry. Check out that was Malcolm. Sorry. Check out Malcolm 7 p.m. Wednesday nights where he will trigger me yet again.
I've been on a rant about capitalism recently. I don't know.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Hang it up on Wednesday if you don't entertain me. I want to say that if you do not entertain me, I'm leaving. So
I will have something entertaining at the end.
Thank you. No, don't start with the beginning. Like, I'm more apt to stay. I'm just telling you.
I get it out of the way.
Trick me. Give me all the
I'll tease it.
Let me tell you something. That's how take it. That's how Cream do it. So Cream will give you the hilarious at the beginning, and then whatever his serious topic is, he'll give it to you in the middle like a sandwich, and then you two invested to leave. Swag the same thing. By the time we get to all the straights, because the straights okay has become very serious. 'Cause they are
Yeah, because them kids, they're not okay. Them
they are
kids
not okay. Because right now we're getting into
to be abused.
yeah, we're
need
getting
therapy.
yeah, we're getting we see
Yeah.
him abusing the child. So
Yeah.
we're all sitting there quiet, like, what in the tuna fish is this? So yeah, and then so I try to do trauma-free entertaining. I do. I just don't. Even when I'm sitting down with my research team, and when I say crack, we're probably doing crack. But I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Look, listen. The only member of the research team's like, I don't do crack, bitch. I'm just joking. But yeah, I try to approach. Like, the world is so tough and so serious, and I like philosophical topics, but it's really hard to ask somebody to join me for 90 minutes, and I ask them the meaning of life. That's just me personally. I'm like, yeah, and then so somebody came to me because I did a few months ago before. This must have been last year before the switch in the race and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and all of that soap opera, season 4 of America. Now that we're on the season 5 of America, but before season 4 began of America, I did a topic that was a little more philosophical, and somebody sent me an email. They were like, "You couldn't think of a show, could you?" I was like, no, I had questions. They were like, I really wasn't your person. But see, that is your personality, so people expect that. But anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't too much care.
Swag, I know you. If I could leave and he'll still go on, it doesn't matter. So we're just up here shooting shit. So Swag, you had on your show, what was the thing we did on the rewind? I'm sorry.
Talking about girls' toys.
So that's what we were talking. Yeah. So trauma. So real quick, we talked about this on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Check Swag out on this very network, www.youtube.com/MailMediaMind2. Why? Because they stole one. 7 p.m. Tuesday night. So check him out. And Swag should be back. Kareem should be back next week. So check him out Thursdays, 7 p.m. And you can check him also 7 p.m. Thursdays. You can check him out, Two Grooms in a Pod podcast. Totally good. I'm loving it. Super cute. He and his husband doing the damn thing. And don't forget to check out Johnny Boy. Johnny is on that he's an alternative news source. Double J Chronic. He is an alternative, and you might catch a fat ass and a glimpse of his schlong while you're doing it. So yeah, we saw the trauma on the little boy's face. I'm not going to beat this dead horse to death because we talked about it on Tuesday. Like, the father clearly has some type of issue. They don't make toys for girls and toys for boys. If your child naturally gravitates to a more feminine type toy, have a talk with him. If you don't like it, don't bet, because if you don't like it, he's going to do it more. I'm just telling you. And the child, because the child's going to be curious, like, why is my parent so negative about this thing? And I want to know why. And it just piques the child curiosity. If you leave that child alone and you're like, and they will put it to the side.
Yeah.
Like a cat.
Yeah.
Buy the cat.
There's also just like
the box. Go ahead.
I just feel like there needs to be more education about orientation versus behavior. So I can understand the idea of you teaching your son that if you play with girls' toys, people will pick on you for whatever reason. But there is like this idea about a lot of people who feel like playing with girls' toys will make you gay, will actually change your behavior, when the reality is that is just what you are as a person. You are a whole person.
Well, we are coming up on the 2 o'clock hour. I'm just going to say you are absolutely correct. But the thing, it is ingrained, especially in the African American community, it is ingrained that masculinity, whether it's false or not, because then now we have a whole group of gays.
You can have that conversation about, like, I understand you're feminine, but you need to act masculine so you don't get bullied. I can understand actually having that conversation. I don't agree with that.
No, but the father's not doing that. The father's doing it to make him feel uncomfortable.
Right.
There's nothing he said.
Oh, I know. I was just saying that was something Cream brought up.
Right.
I
That
actually agree
child,
with like you could walk that line a little bit.
that child looked terrified.
Yeah.
That child is traumatized from that day on to whatever else. All right, we have reached the 2:00 hour, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And you have proved my point. The audience has gotten a little bigger later. So next week we will start at 1:00. Amen. So y'all y'all got to get out of bed, eat your Fruit Loops with me. Hit me up. Let me know what your
Aren't you off next week though?
Oh, I'm off next week. So whomever is sitting there. I am. Hornswoggled into help me. I'm going to Vegas. I don't tune into Patreon real quick. I'm going to let y'all know what my problem is with Vegas. That's www.patreon.com/mailmediamind. Become a paid contributor. Get that exclusive content that we have on Telegram. The Freaky Sneaky. You know, you will never ever have to look for porn ever again. Somebody on this panel takes his dear sweet time. He's a busy man, but yet he takes time to curate adult content for you. I'm not going to say who he is, but he doesn't have a cat. So to become a paid member and get our exclusive groups for our members, you can help us curate the shows. You can tell us what you want to see, what you think is popping or not. And then we take surveys sometimes. Definitely. And that's www.patreon.com/mailmediamind. If you are looking for us on all the socials, please do so by joining us. Just simply Mail Media Mind on any streaming, any social that you can think of. Facebook, Mail Media Mind. Instagram, Mail Media Mind. Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, fuck you, Elon, Mail Media Mind. Twitch, Mail Media Mind. All Mail Media Mind. Just Mail Media Mind. But if you're going to watch us on YouTube, and so Facebook, you can comment on YouTube. You can comment. That's www.youtube.com/mailmediamind2. Why, fellas?
Because they stole one.
Thank you. Call and response at church. I love it. I won't be here with you next Saturday, but one of my delicious cohorts will be, or they'll run a rerun. I don't know what their life's up to. I would like to do a live show because I'm only going to do about 20 episodes this season, 16 to 20 episodes this season. So I will be wrapping up at the end of May with the new season, but not to fear. We'll be back. As you know, I take a month off, come back with a new season, fresh and rested, in vacation. Hopefully, someplace I would want to go. I'm going to vacation in Tijuana this year. That's what I'm we'll sit in the backyard and have me a steak and girl pennies and Mexicans. I like it. I came up with that. That's what we're going to be my summer vacation this year. I'm going to Tijuana. All right. So speaking of going to Tijuana, and don't forget to check out Swag on Tuesday. Check out Malcolm and I. I'm sorry. Check out Malcolm and I on Monday. I will be here for that show. I'm not leaving.
Okay.
I'll be here for Swag show on Tuesday night, I believe. I think. Yes. Because I leave. Actually, Malcolm, no, my flight's at 6 o'clock, so I'll leave right before your show on Wednesday. But so I will be here Monday for the noonday with Greg and Malcolm, and I'm going to pick something delicious because I cannot believe you nasty whores are asking me to eat on the line. Very interesting.
They love it when you eat.
I know they love it when I eat. Someday they're going to pick something delicious. I do take donations. Yes, they all do, Mr. James. You all do. Nasty Gregory out here. It's good. Listen, hush, man. Don't say that. Listen, we know you have your choice in internet entertainment, and as always, we are so glad that you choose Mail Media Mind. Tell a friend, please. We're trying to grow the family, so tell a friend, bring them along. I am still trying to catch that goddamn game show, so you know. Y'all keyboard warriors, y'all got so much to say behind the keyboards, but you don't want to be on TV. You suck. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So we know you have choice in entertainment. Thank you for choosing us yet again. For those who are interested in joining the M3 Book Club, please hit us up if you need some help attaining the said required reading materials. And my idea is to do 30 minutes on a Friday night, just to dedicate the 30 minutes to that. We don't, because we are still looking for Friday night content, so we give you a full week. Yeah, so tune in for that. We're right now. What is it? What's the name of the book, Malcolm?
The Let Them Theory.
The Let Them Theory.
That's what we're doing for April, and I
am listening to it, and I can't remember the title. I suck. Listen, and if you want some tips on what I am doing at this time of turmoil and strife in our nation, hit me up. I'll tell you what I'm doing to relax. Little TV tip, ladies and gentlemen. I've just finished The Residence with Azuzu Adubo. It is a Shonda Rhimes production. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Please check it out. It is on Hulu, 8 episodes. Please check it out. And my
Netflix.
It's on
Netflix.
It's on Netflix. And my movie pick for this week is yet again, oh my God, Amelia Perez.
Where can you catch that?
Amelia Perez.
Mm-hmm.
Amelia Perez is on Netflix as well.
Okay.
Stars Oscar winner. What's the damn girl name? Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez.
Okay.
And speaking of Selena Gomez, my other TV pick this week is not speaking of Selena Gomez. Fuck her. Mid-Century Modern. Nathan Lane. Hulu. It's only 10 episodes. 3 old aging gay men live in a house together, and it's getting more hilarious. That's all I can say. It's it's one of those things that takes time to build, but it's gonna be great when it finishes. And the woman who played Alice, I can't think of her name, who passed away.
Linda Lavin.
Linda Lavin is the mother. I don't know how they're gonna write her out, but she finished the complete season, so I don't know if they're gonna replace her or do whatever else. There's some good documentaries out there that we're checking out. Please read, get your cats spayed or neutered, see a therapist, talk to a friend. You are not alone. I know these are some trying times, and I brought up these things because people are constantly asking me. So I'm taking this to 5 or 10 minutes of the show. Like, well, what do we do at this time? Because
stop watching the news.
Well, not just that, because you want to stay informed, but if you want to stay informed, but you don't want to be triggered, don't spend so much time deep in things. Like, find out what's going on, but don't become invested in what's going on. I think there's a fine line. There's lots of comedy in the world. There's lots of joy. You have friends, you have family, you have us. And if you have any problems, just hit us.
Like, if you are dealing with some mental health things, it's okay to be uninformed.
It is. These people, that's not the people's issues that I'm talking to.
Yeah.
I'm talking to. They clearly ask me, how do I stay informed but not overwhelmed? Yeah. Just kind of news light. There's some new, and I'll when I get back, I'll find the name of it. There's a couple of neutral news sites out there that just kind of give you the headline and they don't go into any motherfucking detail. They don't give any opinion. They don't get left, right, center, nothing. It's just, guess what happened today? And this is what happened. So that's all right. Next, go ahead and roll that close out. We're going to see you on Patreon for a few minutes. Thank you yet again. Thank you to my streaming people right here. God, hundreds of you every Saturday. Thank you so much. Right, bye.
Join us every weekend, oh, the vibe's so fine. Saturday, sit down with Mr. Drayton. Shine!
Grab a friend.